Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's your national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira.
And my name is Kasani Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
India opens its airspace for Pakistan to provide relief services to Sri Lanka. The amount of 10,000 rupees increased to 25,000 rupees for the disaster-affected people to clean their residences. A number of blocked roads restored. Examinations for remaining GCE advanced level subjects in January. The President says that the state mechanism has an undeniable responsibility in building the disaster-struck country. Landslide danger still prevails in 69 divisional secretariat divisions in 6 districts. Another load of commodities for Nosidena Dayawa Rupavahini social welfare program for affected areas.
And now for your news in detail. Now, the government is briskly acting to normalize the lives of the public affected by the disaster situation and to restore the damages caused to property as soon as possible.
A special program is now underway island-wide with the cooperation of security divisions, including 3 armed forces and other civil organizations. Commissioner General of Essential Services Prabha Chandrakirti said that about 256 roads were damaged and the number has been reduced up to 108 by now. Access for roads for many major cities have been opened at present. The railway lines have also been ready for services limited to a certain distance.
මාර්ගයේ දුම්රිය තර දුරකට ධාවනය වීමක් සිදු වෙනවා. නමුත් යම් හානියටපත් මාර්ග යථා තත්ත්වයට පිළිසකරණ කරන තෙක් අපිට ඒ තත්ත්වයෙන් සම්පූර්ණ දුම්රිය මාර්ගය ඒ ධාවනය අපිට යථා තත්ත්වයටපත් කරන්න බැරි වෙයි.
Sri Lanka Daudi Bohra community donated a sum of 10 million rupees for relief efforts. On behalf of the leader of the global Bohra community, His Holiness Zaina Muftahan Saifuddin, chairman of the Sri Lanka Daudi Bohra community, Ibrahim Zaini, handed over the relevant cheque to the President's Secretary, Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumanayaka, at the President's office this morning. Over 1,000 affected people in the Anuradhapura district were provided with dry rations yesterday under the patronage of Chief Incumbent of Ruwanvali Mahasaya, Venerable E. Talavatnavave Jnanatilaka Thera. A group of private donors has contributed for this act. Over 1,500 affected people in the Uvaparanagam area have been directed to 17 safety centres. Valley Madhya Pradesh Sabha provides required basic facilities and food items continuously for them. Girivula town was affected by floods due to overflow of the Maoya. As the floodwater has receded, cleaning activities in the town have commenced at present. Nearly 300 business premises in the town were inundated and 3 shops have been totally damaged. About 150 trade premises have partially been damaged. Our correspondent stated that the main bus stand has been repaired and it is now open for public transport services as usual. The Anlavanlavai road, which has been blocked by disastrous situation, has been opened for transportation services. The other roads in the area that were blocked due to collapse of earth mounds and boulders have also been returned to normalcy. Affected areas in the Polonnaruwa district are being renovated at present with the support of the public officials and members of the 3 armed forces. Chairman of the Water Board Chandana Bandara said that the Water Board has managed to supply water even amidst the disaster situation. Out of the 343 pumping stations, 156 were collapsed and out of them 126 pumping stations have been restored.
ජල පිරිපහදු මධ්‍යස්ථාන තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම 156ක විතර වගේ ප්‍රමාණයක අර්ධ වශයෙන් හෝ සම්පූර්ණ වශයෙන් කඩාවැටීම් වලට ලක් වෙලා තිබුණා. එතනින් මේ මොහොත වෙනකොට අපි 126ක් විතර අපි යථා තත්ත්වයට පත් කරගෙන තියෙනවා. නමුත් තවත් 30ක පමණ ප්‍රමාණයක් අපිට තවමත් යථා තත්ත්වයට පත් කර ගැනීමට නොහැකි වී තිබුණා. ඒ ටික දින ඇතුළත බොහෝ වෙලාවට විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් අපිට නැවත යථා තත්ත්වයට පත් කර ගන්න පුළුවන්.
Police media spokesman expressed his views regarding the relief activities of the displaced people. He also commented on some individuals going to view the risky areas. Police media spokesman ASP F.U. Wootler said that it is a problem that some people arrive along the renovated roads in the affected areas to view the disaster. It has posed a vulnerable situation not only for them but also for the others using the roads. People of local government areas in the Kalatara district have collected a stock of dry rations and sanitary items worth 5 million rupees. The stock was dispatched to Nuwara district today to be distributed among the affected people in the district. The Sri Lanka Navy is continuously extending its support for the disaster relief operations and humanitarian aid programs for the affected people. Disaster relief teams of the Navy are conducting supply of essential medical services, cleaning public places and also to normalize water pumping stations. The Sri Lanka Air Force is continuing operations to rescue the people in the Matale district. 12 people displaced in the Ingruvat area in Gammadua in Matale were rescued with the support of the Air Force. It is reported that the National Blood Transfusion Centre has ample stock of blood for emergency use at present. Director Blood Bank Lakshman Edrisinghe said that the blood bank has a reserve of over 20,000 units at present. It's adequate for a period of 2 weeks. Therefore, the blood donors should consult the relevant units before arriving to donate blood.
එකහමාරකට දෙකකට විතර කාලයක් සඳහා හොඳටම ප්‍රමාණවත් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මම මේ වෙලාවේදී ස්තුතිය පළ කරන ගමම්ම දීපු දායකත්වයට මම ඉල්ලා සිටින්න කැමැති මින් ඉදිරියට විශාල රුධිරදායක කඳවුරු සංවිධානය කිරීම අපි මොහොතකට අවම කරන්න වෙනවා. ඒ වෙනුවට මම ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා අපේ පද්ධතිය තුල තියෙන ප්‍රධාන මධ්‍යස්ථානවලට ඔබ පැමිණීමට මත්තෙන් දුරකථන මාර්ගයෙන් අපිව සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන ඒ ඔබගේ ප්‍රදේශයේ තියෙන රුධිර මධ්‍යස්ථානවලට ඔබගේ දායකත්වය ලබා දෙන්න.
Sri Lanka Army also continuously contributes to rescue operations and relief services. Army officials are conducting essential health services in many areas including Pahankendi, Valikanda, Abatale, Diyatalava and Mahianganaya. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Army soldiers started a special mission to renovate the main access road to Sri Pada. Four persons, including a group of foreigners who were displaced in Kotmal area, were rescued by the Mi-17 aircraft given by the Indian government for rescue missions. The rescued persons were brought to the Kotnayaka Air Force camp. Dr. Anil Jasinghe said that a special medical team arrived in the island from Japan yesterday. They have brought a field hospital as well. It will be set up in Chilla. India has also donated a field hospital with a medical team. It will be set up at Vavagam area in Badulla. India brought another unit today as well. It's scheduled to be set up in Matale. Treatment services at the outdoor patients department and primary treatment services of the Chilla district hospital and Mahianganaya base hospital will commence from tomorrow.
බදුල්ල දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ වැවේගම ප්‍රදේශයේ පිහිටුවීමට කටයුතු කරනවා. අනිත් ක්ෂේත්‍ර රෝහල මාතලේ රත්තොට ප්‍රදේශයේ පිහිටුවීමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
Minister of Power Kumar Jayakuri says that the collapsed power supply in many areas have been restored at present and it will be fully returned to normalcy in the coming few days.
රන්ට මේ මයංගනේ 132 kV line එක වැඩි බරකින් ඩැමේජ් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක හින්දා විශේෂයෙන්ම පාර වවුනතු මයංගනේ ප්‍රදේශවල.
In more local news, a number of leaders around the world have expressed their sadness regarding the tragedies and extreme difficulties faced by the people of Sri Lanka due to the unexpected disaster situation. Now, they have pledged their assistance required for relief operations during this moment of disaster to President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had discussed with President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake over the telephone regarding disaster situation in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stated that India will be with Sri Lanka and its people during this difficult period as a close and trustworthy friend. India will provide all necessary assistance for disaster relief operations under Sagar Bandhu operation and will continue the process, the Indian Prime Minister added. Russian President Vladimir Putin has also expressed his sadness to President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake regarding the disaster situation which affected the people of Sri Lanka. In a message issued, he has stated that Russia will be with Sri Lanka during this difficult period. The Russian president has expressed his deepest condolences to the families and loved ones and the dead, and also wished speedy recovery to all those who have sustained injuries during this disaster. The government of China has donated a sum of $1 million for the disaster-affected people of Sri Lanka. According to the Chinese embassy in this country, the government of China has also provided relief supplies worth 10 million yuan to the island. Australia has taken steps to provide $1 million in aid for reconstruction and swift response to the disaster situation. Nepal is also due to provide a contribution of $200,000 for the affected people in the island. Meanwhile, Turkey, Cuba, Bangladesh, European Union, Palestine, Nicaragua and a host of other countries, along with a large number of international partners, have expressed their assistance to Sri Lanka in rebuilding the country during this unprecedented disaster. The country has expanded its coordination with the United Nations organization in this country, government and international aid organizations to help affected people. Sri Lankan representative of the United Nations, Marc-Andre Franche, stated that the UN has taken steps to direct its teams to assist the affected communities in rescue operations throughout the country. Although the access to disaster-hit areas is difficult, the UNICEF has provided drinking water to 25 safety centers in the Badul area. International organization Teams for Migration has also taken steps to strengthen their emergency response by providing non-food materials, shelter and other crucial supplies. This step has been taken with the coordination of Sri Lanka Disaster Management Centre along with other institutions of the United Nations and international partners. The first flight carrying aid from the United Arab Emirates arrived at Katunayake Bandaranaike International Airport yesterday midnight by distributing among affected people. It included 48 temporary tents, 2,592 food packages, each sufficient for a person for 14 days, vehicles used by rescue teams, motorcycles which can be used on tractor routes and a large number of other items. This consignment of aid has been airlifted by the C-17 aircraft, one of the largest and most modern aircrafts belonging to the Air Force of the UAE. Meanwhile, another flight carrying relief material from UAE for the disaster-affected people reached Katunayake Bandaranaike International Airport in the afternoon today. Minister of Labour Anil Jayantha Fernando was present at the airport to receive the consignment of aid. In an internationally applauded gesture, India has provided permission for Pakistani aircraft to fly over its airspace, carrying humanitarian aid to the cyclone-affected people of Sri Lanka. This has been a unique decision taken by India amid the fractured Indo-Pakistan bilateral relations. The request made by Pakistan in this regard yesterday has been granted by India on the same day. Foreign news analysts point out that the completion of this process within a short period of time of 4 hours is also a unique turning point. Indian airspace has been closed for Pakistan aircraft on the anti-terrorist operation Sindoor conducted after the terrorist attack occurred in Pahalgam in India. Yet due to the disaster condition in Sri Lanka, this decision has been taken on humanitarian grounds, India stated. India also emphasized that certain media reports in Pakistan to the effect that the request to fly over Indian airspace was rejected is totally baseless. To the operation Sagarbandu commenced by India to assist Sri Lanka, naval ships Vikrant, Udayagiri and INS surveillance vessels have also been joined. INS surveillance vessel reached Trincomalee harbour in the morning today, carrying essential items to disaster-struck people of this country. It includes approximately 12 tons of dry food items, clothing and medicines. Governor of the Eastern Province, Professor Jayantha Lal Ratnasekara, Deputy Minister Arun Hemachandra, along with a number of other officials were present to receive the aid consignment. Helicopters and Mi-17 aircraft of the Indian Air Force, operating jointly with the Sri Lanka Air Force, have also rescued pregnant mothers, infants and critically injured patients, along with hundreds of civilians. It included one Pakistani national and several other foreign nationals as well. Several Pakistani helicopters are engaged in rescue operations in this country, and the opening of the Indian airspace and more Pakistani aircraft carrying humanitarian aid is expected to arrive in the island. India has provided 53 tons of humanitarian aid by now. The Indian Relief Services forces, which arrived to rescue affected people in the Badula district, commenced their operations at Kohona Gramaniladari Division, Pusella Kanda Divisional Secretariat and the Soranatota yesterday, according to Badula District Secretary Panduka Sri Prabhata Bewardana. This team included 18 male Indian Relief Service Army officials, 2 female officials and 2 police canine. Operations are conducted jointly with the army of this country, and they have been able to recover a dead body underneath the debris.
The government has decided to increase the amount of 10,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees for the disaster-affected people to clean their residences. Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Harshana Surya Perumal, said that the decision has been taken to increase even the residents are living on a rented-out basis. Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Harshana Surya Perumal, emphasized that to ensure the necessary support for the affected people could be provided swiftly and those affected could return to their homes and begin the cleaning process, the Ministry of Finance approved an increase from the initially requested 10,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees per household. Accordingly, the total funds to be provided amount to 7,500 million rupees, which will be distributed promptly.
Now, according to our correspondents, certain places inundated due to the overflowing of the Kalani River are resurfacing. Vehicular transport on certain roads have also been restored. The water is gradually receding in areas around the Kalani River, including Kolonnawa, Vallampiti and Kalaniya, which are inundated due to flooding. The water in the Athurugiriya interchange on the expressway has completely receded. The boat service operated from Vallampiti junction has also curtailed by now. Flood situation in Gampaha town and surrounding areas is also on the decrease. The approach from the Ganemula to Gampaha is also underwater. According to the Disaster Management Centre, steps have been taken to cut open temporary roads constructed to facilitate development work on the Kadawatha-Mirigam expressway to allow the water to flow. Kandy Mahayangana Road and the Kurunagala Kandy Main Road have been opened, according to the District Secretary. Steps have been taken to provide food and essential items to the displaced people without an approach road with the help of the Air Force. Relief service camps established in the Madawachi Divisional Secretariat Division due to the disaster situation has completely removed by noon today, according to Divisional Secretary. The cleaning of roads and buildings destroyed due to the inclement weather condition in the Anuradhapura town has commenced. State and private sector, along with residents of the area, have joined the effort.
Army media spokesman Brigadier Varuna Gamage says that Army officials are taking steps to restore water supply in addition to rescue and relief operations. He added that the Army is providing its assistance to open the blocked roads as soon as possible. Army media spokesman Brigadier Varuna Gamage said that the Sri Lanka Army has expanded its operations in central and western provinces, and by now several Army teams, including Army commandos and the Special Task Force, are conducting search operations for displaced persons in Kotmale, Nuwara, Rambola, Mimure, Gampola, Navalapiti and Pandal areas. So far, more than 220 unsafe persons have been rescued and were sent to safer places. The Army has provided its assistance in restoring all water pumping stations. In all probabilities, water supportive facilities will be restored within today.
වෙනුවෙන් සහන සැලසීමේ කටයුතු රජය විසින් නොකඩවා සිදු කරගෙන යනවා. මේ මෙහෙයුම් සඳහා ගුවන් හමුදාවට අයත් හෙලිකොප්ටර් ඉන්දියානු ගුවන් හමුදාවට අයත් MI-17 ගුවන් යාන දෙකක් සහ පාකිස්තාන් ගුවන් හමුදාවට අයත් Z9 හෙලිකොප්ටර් යානාවක් එක්ව මේ කටයුතු සිදු කරමින් පවතිනවා. මඩකලපුව, කඩුගන්නාව, මැටිකුඹුර යන ප්‍රදේශවල දැනට අක්‍රිය වී ඇති ශ්‍රී ලංකා ටෙලිකොම් ඩයලොග් ආයතන වලට අයත් සම්බන්ධතා නැවත ස්ථාපනය කිරීමට යුද හමුදාව සහාය ලබා දෙනු ලැබුවා. ඒකම කරගහ තැන්න සහ පිදුරු තලාගල ස්ථාපිත රූපවාහිනී ගුවන් විදුලි ප්‍රධාන සම්ප්‍රේෂණ මධ්‍යස්ථාන වෙත ඇවිස ඉන්ධන රැගෙන යාම අක්‍රිය වී ඇති විදුලි සම්බන්ධතාවයන් නැවත ස්ථාපනය කිරීම සඳහාද යුද හමුදාව විසින් සහාය ලබා දෙනු ලැබුවා. ඒ වගේම සියලු ජල සැපයුම් කඩිනමින් යථා තත්ත්වයට පත් කිරීම සඳහා යුද හමුදාවේ සහාය ජල සම්පාදන මණ්ඩලය වෙත ලබා දී තිබෙනවා.
පසුගිය දිනවල ශ්‍රී ලංකා ගුවන් හමුදාවේ
Assistant Secretary of the Disaster Management Centre Jayanth Munasinghe added that during the past few days an officer of the Sri Lanka Air Force and 5 Navy officers sacrificed their lives during the disaster relief service operation. The Disaster Management Centre and the Ministry of Defence is conveying their deepest condolences to the families of those heroic officers. The general public is reminded that due to their reckless behaviour, lives may be in danger. It is also requested to not take photographs and video clips when the members of armed forces, relief persons or even voluntary persons are dedicated offering their services to provide relief to the disaster-affected communities.
Secretary to the Ministry of Education Nalaka Kalueva says that schools in the non-affected provinces and districts will commence on the 16th of this month. He stated that the rest of the subjects of the GCE A-level examination will be held in January next year. Secretary to the Ministry of Education Nalaka Kalueva said the remaining subjects of the examination which were affected due to the cyclone Ditwa will be held at the beginning of January next year. The official announcement in this regard will be issued accordingly by the examination department. The ministry further said that schools unaffected by the disaster across the country will open on the 16th of December. For all other schools, reopening decisions will be made by provincial and district authorities as soon as possible.
President Anukumar Dissanayake emphasised that the state mechanism has been entrusted with an indispensable role in rebuilding the country following the disaster, and he urged all government officials to work efficiently for the nation without being confined by routine circulars or daily schedules. The President made these remarks during a virtual meeting held via Zoom yesterday with governors and chief secretaries connecting from the Presidential Secretariat. The President stated that the country has recently faced unprecedented destruction due to the nationwide disaster, and in the process of swiftly overcoming this situation and rebuilding the nation, governors and chief secretaries of provinces have been entrusted with extensive responsibilities. President emphasized that in the wake of the disaster, a large number of people have been displaced, and ensuring their access to food, health and sanitation facilities has become the government's primary responsibility. He stated that the government is giving focused attention to restoring essential infrastructure and services necessary to normalize public life. The President directed that staff and equipment from areas that experienced minimum impact be deployed to restore infrastructure in regions most severely affected. He further noted that strong partnerships will be forged with non-governmental organizations, volunteer groups, political parties, business communities, Sri Lankans living abroad and friendly foreign governments to ensure the reconstruction process is implemented effectively and efficiently. President Dissanayake emphasized the need for a systematic reporting process and instructed provincial officials to promptly collect detailed information on crop damage right down to the individual farmer. The President also stressed that attention is being given to reviving small and medium-scale industries destroyed by the disaster, including providing the necessary financial and other support. He indicated that a portion of the upcoming budget would also be allocated to support these recovery and rehabilitation efforts. The President stated that discussions have been held with the main telecommunications companies to rapidly restore the damaged communication networks, and he expressed confidence that these services will soon return to normalcy. The President emphasized that the government is unable to address this crisis independently and highlighted the crucial role of support from the private sector. He further noted that strong partnerships will be forged with non-governmental organizations, volunteer groups, political parties and many other parties. President Dissanayake underscored that the rebuilding process must be carried out according to a proper plan. Accordingly, he instructed the chief secretaries of the provinces to promptly submit reports to the Presidential Secretariat detailing the damage in their respective districts, the extent of such damage and the resources required for restoration.
More local news. International development partners have stepped forward to to support Sri Lanka's recovery efforts after Cyclone Ditwa, committing financial and technical assistance to help restore damaged infrastructure and aid affected communities. The World Bank, the Asian Development Bank and several other bilateral and multilateral development partners have expressed readiness to assist Sri Lanka in rebuilding and stabilizing the country following the cyclone. During discussions with the heads of this institution, State Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policies, Dr. Harshana Suryaperuma, was informed that development partners are prepared to fund a wide range of recovery initiatives. These include a rapid rehabilitation of damaged infrastructure, support for communities severely affected by the disaster, and the restoration of key economic sectors. The World Bank has agreed to provide immediate support for post-disaster relief and economic stabilization, along with funding for long-term reconstruction. The ADB, one of Sri Lanka's major development partners, will also assist her through emergency humanitarian aid, disaster relief supplies and programs aimed at addressing urgent socio-economic needs. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan government is working closely with donors to coordinate relief operations and accelerate recovery planning. A joint meeting bringing together international development agencies, government institutions and humanitarian organizations is expected to convene shortly to finalize coordinated strategies and support mechanisms. Director General of the Sri Lanka Customs Sivali Arupgada says that a simple system has been arranged to clear all humanitarian aid received to the country without paying taxes. He made these remarks at a press briefing held in Colombo today. Director General of the Sri Lanka Customs Sivali Arupgada announced that donations from abroad labelled as disaster relief will be exempted from taxes and released promptly. He said donors can visit the Customs website www.customs.gov.lk for guidelines on sending donations. The government has listed out the required goods needed for rapid distribution, and those listed goods can be sent as disaster relief. The list can be accessed through donate.gov.lk website. However, he said that donors could also send relief beyond this listed goods in the website as well, and necessary provisions are in place to clear them through the authorized channels. He said that to qualify for tax exemption, all consignments must be addressed to either the Secretary of the Ministry of Public Security or the Director of the DMC. He said that priority will be given to these donations than other imports under priority clearance. Special units have been established and officers assigned to clear these goods. More information can be obtained through the hotline +94 0704 752823. Once again, +94 704 752823. Many donations were received to the social hospitality program Nosindena Dayava of the national television today as well.
The collected donations will be handed over to the relevant district secretaries to be distributed among the affected communities. A stock of humanitarian aid was handed over to the Vavuniya District Secretary P.A. Sarachandra this morning. The items will be distributed among the affected people of the Vavuniya district under the supervision of the District Secretary.
ජාතික රූපවාහිනිය නොසින දයාව වැඩසටහන යටතේ මේ ලැබිච්ච ආධාර අපිට විශේෂයෙන් වැදගත් වෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි මේ ආධාර දැඩිව ආලාභාණයට පත් වෙච්ච පුම්පකාර ගම්මානයටත් නින්ද නගර කියන ගම්මාන දෙකට ලබා දීම සඳහා තමයි අපි අදහස් කරන්නේ. ඒ අනුව අපි කඩිනමින් ඒ ජනතාව වෙත මේ ආධාර නිකුත් කිරීමේ කටයුතු ඔවුන්ට ලබා දීමේ කටයුතු අපි සිද්ධ කරනවා. මේ කටයුතු මේ වෙලාවේදී අපිට ලැබිච්ච ලොකුම ශක්තියක්.
A stock of humanitarian aid meant for Badula district was handed over to the district secretariat today. Later, the items were airlifted to be distributed among the people affected in Badula district. Another stock of aid was handed over to Mullaitiya district secretariat. The aid will be distributed among the affected families under the supervision of district secretary Uma Maheshwaran. A stock of donations received by the hospitality program of the national television Nosindena Dayava was dispatched to District Secretary Subramanian Muralidharan today. The items will be distributed among the Kirinochi and surrounding areas in the coming days.
Over 233,000 people affected by the inclement weather in all the districts. All the 25 districts are still at safety centres. 407,594 families have been affected. The Disaster Management Centre says that relief services are being conducted continuously. The affected people have been temporarily placed at 1,441 safety camps. 565 houses have been totally damaged and 20,271 houses partially damaged, says the Disaster Management Centre. Director Media of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, requested the public not to visit flood and landslide-stricken and other affected areas due to the severity of the prevailing situation. He urged public to support the relief campaigns initiated by the relevant authorities and other organisations working with the Disaster Management Centre. All relevant financial provisions have been extended to the divisional and district secretariats to support the rebuilding efforts. Rescue operations are currently underway in several affected areas in the country.
ඒකකයන් ජාතික ආපදා සහන සේවා මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ සමග අඛණ්ඩවම කටයුතු කරමින් ඒ සඳහා ආපදා කළමනාකරන අංශය කටයුතු කරනවා සොයා ගැනීමේ මුදා ගැනීමේ කණ්ඩායම් ආපද ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාව නියෝජනය කරමින් පැය 24 පුරාම ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා.
The National Building Research Organisation says that the red notices for the 69 divisional secretariat areas in 6 districts are still effective. Senior geologist of the NBRO Vasanta Senadira says that level 3 landslide warnings have been issued to 9 districts over 65 divisions. He urged people to evacuate landslide prone areas and remain at safe locations. He requested the public to inform the divisional secretariats through the relevant Grama Sevaka about their properties which are in landslide prone areas.
යම් ආකාරයක අවශ්‍යතාවයක් හොත් ඒ කියන්නේ තමගේ නිවස පරීක්ෂා කර ගැනීම හෝ ගෙබීම පරීක්ෂා කිරීමට අවශ්‍යතාවයක් හොත් ඒ සම්බන්ධව ප්‍රදේශීය ග්‍රාම නිලධාරි මහතා හරහා ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් කාර්යාලයට දැනුම් දීලා ඒ හරහා දිස්ත්‍රික් ලේකම් හරහා පැමිණෙන ඉල්ලීම තමයි මේ අවස්ථාවේ වඩාත්ම වැදගත් විදිහට සලකන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මෙහිදී ජාතික ගොඩනැගිලි පරිසර ආයතන ඉල්ලා සිටින්නේ මෙම ක්‍රියාවලිය අනුගමනය කර තමන්ගේ අවශ්‍යතාව ඉටු කර ගන්න ලෙස.
The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers may occur in some places in the northern, north central and eastern provinces and in the Badulla and Matale districts during the next 24 hours. The Met Department further says that the misty condition will prevail in the morning in some places in the western, central, Sabaragamuwa, Uva and southern provinces and in the Kurunegala and Ampara districts. Duty officer of the Met Department said that the northeast monsoon condition is expected to gradually establish over the island during the next few days. Due to this, rainy condition over the island, particularly in the western, northwestern, north central, eastern, Uva and central provinces is expected to be enhanced from the 4th of December. The general public are requested to be attentive to the future forecasts.
Former Minister C.B. Ratnayaka, taken into custody by the Bribery Commission, has been further remanded until the 16th of this month as per an order by the Colombo Magistrates Court. After considering the facts presented by the officials of the Bribery Commission and the attorneys at law of the suspect, Colombo Chief Magistrate Asanka S. Bodragama issued the order. Former Minister C.B. Ratnayaka has been alleged of acquiring assets illegally amounting to more than 57.3 million rupees, exceeding his legal income during the time period between 31st of March to 31st of March 2013. Rather from 2011 to 2013. The attorney at law of the suspect told the court that since the investigation is more than 10 years old, no information has been presented to the effect that any witness has been influenced. He requested to release the suspect on bail on this ground. The magistrate, after considering the facts of both the parties, rejected the request and ordered the suspect to be remanded until the 16th of December.
Well, that was a look at your news here at ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira, together with Kasuni Balachandra Adhikari. Wish you a pleasant evening. Stay safe.
Good night.
අපේ ශ්‍රී ලාංකික